Hello everyone, welcome to the continuation part of exercise number 1 of Laplace transform. So here we will continue type B and type C. So first we'll start with type B. So before solving the type B and type C, we should know the linearity property of Laplace transform. And the linearity property of Laplace transform says that a Laplace transform of k1 into f of t, in between you have plus or minus sign, and k2 multiplied by g of t. And if you want to calculate the Laplace transform of this entire thing, so what you can do, k1 you can take k1 as outside because it is a constant. The Laplace transform of f of t will be there, right? And here we have plus or minus sign, so plus or minus sign will be here only, and then k2 can be considered as outside because it is also constant, and then the remaining thing is g of t, so we will take Laplace transform of g of t. So this is basically called linearity property of Laplace transform, and with that property we can solve the problem of type B and type C. So in problem here they are given, here we need to find the Laplace transform of 4t square plus sin 3t plus of e raised to 2t, right? So to calculate that thing, what we can do, since here 4 is a constant, so 4 will go to outside, and here we have t square, so we will take the Laplace transform of t square. In similar way, sin 3t is there, so we will take the Laplace transform of sin 3t then, and at last here we have e raised to 2t, so we will take the Laplace transform of e raised to 2t over here, right? So for t raised to n, the Laplace transform t raised to n will be nothing but equal to factorial of 2 upon s raised to 2 plus 1, and the Laplace transform of sin of 3t will be 3 upon s square, and 3 square will be nothing but equal to 9 only, and the Laplace transform of e raised to 2t will be nothing but equal to 1 upon s minus of 2, right? And factorial of 2 is nothing but 2 only, and 2 4s are 8, 8 upon s raised to 3, and 3 upon s square plus 9, and here we have 1 upon s minus of 2. So this is the final answer of problem number 1. I hope you understood this problem, right? In similar way, we can solve the problem number 2 also. Problem number 2, here we have to find the Laplace transform of t square, so e raised to minus 2t plus cos hyperbolic of 3t. So again here we can apply the linearity property, and on the basis of linearity property, Laplace transform of t square minus Laplace transform of e raised to minus 2t will be there, plus the last term is Laplace transform of cos hyperbolic of 3t will be there, right? I hope you understood everything, right? The Laplace transform of t square can be written as factorial of 2 upon s raised to 2 plus 1 minus e raised to minus 2t Laplace will be 1 upon s plus 2, and cos hyperbolic 3t Laplace transform will be nothing but equal to s upon s square, and 3 square will be 9, right? Here we can write 2 upon s raised to 3 minus 1 upon s plus 2, and s upon s square minus of 9. So here we have solved the problem number 2 also. Now see the problem number 3. In problem number 3 here they are saying here we need to find the Laplace transform of t square plus 9 square, right? So to solve this problem, what we can do over here, we can apply the, since we know that a plus b whole square is nothing but equal to a square plus 2ab plus of b square, right? So we will apply same formula over here. So here it will be t square, a square plus 2ab plus b square, right? And after that here we will write Laplace 2 multiplied by 2 is nothing but equal to 4. So t raised to 4 will be there, plus 18 into t square, and at last here it will be 81, right? So now we will write the Laplace transform of t raised to 4. 18 is constant, so it will go to outside. So Laplace transform of t square. At last here we will write Laplace transform of 81, right? I hope the things are very clear to you now. 4 factorial upon s raised to 5 plus 18 into 2 factorial upon s raised to 3, and here it will be 81 upon s, right? I hope you understood the things. And the factorial of 4 will be nothing but equal to, that we can calculate, factor 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, 4 3 are 12, 2 are 24. So 24 upon s raised to 5, right? 2 factorial is nothing but 2, 2 18 is 36. upon s raised to 3, and here it will be nothing but equal to 81 upon s. So this is the final answer of problem number 3 also. In similar way, you can solve the sum number 4 and 5 also. Now I will continue with the problem number 6. In problem number 6, here they are saying, here we need to calculate the Laplace transform of cos hyperbolic of at minus cos of bt, right? This problem is very simple problem. Here cos at we have, so it will be separated by using the rule of linearity property. So here it will be Laplace transform of cos hyperbolic of at minus Laplace transform of cos of bt will be there. I hope you understood the things, right? So here we'll write s upon s square minus of a square, because you know the formula, and cos bt will be nothing but equal to s upon s square minus of b square, right? So here we have solved the problem number 6 also. On the basis of that, here we have completed type B of exercise number 1. Now I'll continue with the type C. So this is problem number 1 of type number C. Here they are saying, here we need to calculate the Laplace transform of sin 2t minus cos 2t overall square, right? So before solving the problem of this kind, let me revise one of the formula. Formula of a minus b whole square already we know. It is nothing but a square minus of 2ab plus of b square, right? So we'll apply this formula over here. Here it will be a square minus 2ab, right? 2 into sin 2t into cos 2t plus cos square of 2t, right? I hope you understood this formula, right? Since we know that sin square theta plus cos square theta is always equal to 1. So here we have sin square 2t and here we have cos square 2t. So we can replace sin square 2t plus cos square 2t by 1. So here it will be 1 minus 2 into sin 2t into cos 2t. I hope you understood this thing, right? And one more formula we have, that is nothing but 2 into sin theta into cos theta is nothing but equal to sin of 2 theta, right? So 2 sin theta into cos theta, here we can apply this formula over here, and by using this formula, here we can write sin of 2 into theta, right? And theta is nothing but 2t. So Laplace transform of 1 minus sin of 4t will be there. I hope you understood this thing, right? So now after that you will write Laplace transform of 1 minus Laplace transform of sin 4t will be there. The Laplace transform of 1 is nothing but 1 upon s, and Laplace transform of sin 4t is nothing but equal to 4 upon s square, and 4 square is nothing but 16, right? So this is the final answer. I hope you understood this problem also. In similar way, we can solve the sum number 2 also. So this is the problem number 2, and here they are saying, here we need to calculate the Laplace transform of cos hyperbolic of t minus sin hyperbolic of t, and overall power of n we need to calculate, right? So to find the Laplace transform of all this thing, what we can do, here we should know one of the formula that gives the relationship between hyperbolic function and exponential function. The formula is, if you want to find the value of cos hyperbolic of theta, so cos hyperbolic of theta is nothing but equal to e raised to theta plus e raised to minus of theta and divide by 2. And if you want to find the value of sin hyperbolic of theta, so sin hyperbolic of theta will be equal to e raised to theta and e raised to minus of theta divided by 2. This is also called Euler's formula, right? And by using this formula, we can simplify this thing. So we can apply this formula over here. So cos hyperbolic of t can be replaced by e raised to t plus e raised to minus of t, because instead of theta here we have a t, and divide by 2, right? Minus, in similar way, sin hyperbolic of t can be written as e raised to t minus e raised to minus t and divide by 2. And here we have power of n. And then after that, here we'll write, here we'll do the separation of all this thing. Here 1 by 2 we have, right? So 1 by 2 can be considered as a constant. So if I'll take 1 by 2 as outside, so here it will be e raised to t and e raised to minus t minus of e raised to t e raised to minus t, and power of n is there, and here we have 1 by 2, right? So 1 by 2 can be taken as outside because it is a constant, right? So if I'll take 1 by 2 as outside, here power n we have, so it will go outside along with the power of n. So 1 by 2 power of n will be also there, right? So here we can write Laplace transform of, here we can do the simplification of this bracket. So e raised to t, e raised to minus t, e raised to t, and e raised to minus t, right? So overall power of n will be there. So here we can write 1 upon 2 power n, because 1 power of n is nothing but 1 only, and 2 power n will be 2 power of n only. And here after the simplification, here it will be nothing but, here we have e raised to minus t as a minus e raised to t. So this term and this term is going to cancel, and here it will be 2 raised to e raised to minus t power of n, right? So now what we can do, again we can take 2 raised to 2 as a constant, and it will go to the outside. Here we have power of n, so 2 raised to n, and already we have 2 raised to n in denominator also. So the Laplace transform of e raised to minus t and power n we have, and 2 raised to n will going to be cancelled. And since we know that a power of m, power of n will be nothing but equal to a power of m into n. So by using this rule, here we can write Laplace transform of e raised to minus nt. And the Laplace transform of e raised to minus nt will be 1 upon s plus n, because Laplace transform of e raised to at is nothing but equal to 1 upon s minus of a. And by using this formula, and at the same time, if you want to calculate Laplace of e raised to minus at, it will be equal to 1 upon s plus of a. So by using this formula, here we can solve this thing, right? So here we have solved the last problem of exercise number 1 of type number C. So this is the end of this lecture, and from the next lecture we'll start with another topic. Thank you.